actually owned by Amtrak. SEPTA operates service as far west as Thorndale. Amtrak and PennDOT. PennDOT actually works with them on the Keystone service, which one runs farther west to Harrisburg. So this is actually a mixture of SEPTA expenditures and improvements on the line, as well as PennDOT. And we have Steve Panko today from PennDOT here, and Bob Lund from my group to talk if there are questions at the end, because I do have to get out of here. One of the things you should know, and I mentioned this when I went to the Chester County Commissioners and presented to them the other day, is that a lot of home value in the 4 suburban counties is locked up based on how close they are to SEPTA. Now, there's not as much service in Chester County as there are in other counties. Maybe tough to see, but 8% of the total value of homes in Montgomery County is tied to the fact that those homes are closer to SEPTA. There's an incremental value. Over the 4 counties, we add 7.4% to the real estate value of the homes throughout the entire county, totaling $14.5 billion. Now, our consultant did this. We just had a study done. It was updated from 2013. They looked at over 300,000 home sales, and they can tell similar homes, features. They can look at them when they're close to SEPTA and not close to SEPTA. Montgomery County had the most home value at $5.9 billion, but even Chester County has $1.9 billion worth of additional home value associated being close to mass transit or SEPTA. And you'll be amazed at some of the increases that you'll see at like Paoli when I show that. Paoli, the total SEPTA impact in around the Paoli area is $712 million, or $69,000 average impact per house. That's from the study, and you see the way the lines are, and they go out a certain distance, and they can determine, really, looking at homes that are close and far away, how much of a difference. Malvern, $66,000 differential. Whitford, $36,000. Exton, $36,000. So we are a lot of people's home value, and it just, if you think about it, that just really implies that TOD is really very popular, growing. More people are owning less cars. There's a lot of value that you get from having your home near transit. And this study that we just came out with, you can look online, septa.org/economic-impact/-impact. And this is on our website if you're interested. And this shows also the total economic impact that we have annually on the region. This is not just moving people, this is all the things we do: direct spending, indirect, which is supply chain impacts, and worker spending that's induced dollars. So it's $174 million annually impact that we have on Chester County, 1,300 jobs and $72 million in earnings. Not to mention that we also spend, I don't remember the number, but a lot on goods and services in Chester County every year. This really tells you the story about our region. The rest of the state, in 2010 to 2016, has dropped off 10,000 people. Population dropped 10,000. The overall increase in the state, though, is 71,000, and that was driven by our region. I'm not saying we're the only region growing in population, but this is what's making, we're the hot spot in Pennsylvania right now. And you can see that in those 6 years, Philadelphia grew 40,000, Montgomery 20,000, Chester County 16,000. Some of the counties, it's a little more directly attributed to TOD. In the city of Philadelphia, it is absolutely TOD. It is unbelievable. We can show you, our report also talks about that, shows where the commercial and residential construction permits are going on. And if you took away our system map and put all the dots on where all these construction permits are going, you'd figure out where our lines ran. So it's an unbelievable correlation. We can also see the census tracts along the Broad Street, Market Frankfurt line, and it's very clear. Montgomery also has a very strong trend along SEPTA. Chester County Yes, but there's also a lot of land available in Chester County, but at 16,000 people, that's a lot to grow in 6 years. So this is the exciting area that we have right now. A lot of things. Philadelphia, possible home to even Amazon. These are the types of things that just weren't considered. And I spoke with Amazon, and one of the things that was so very important to them was transportation and the ability to get around. It's interesting. We have, back in 2013, when we were really struggling and we had very poor capital funding and we were fighting, we were able to help others and push through Act 89 and doubled our capital program. And we really thought that, our problem was mostly going to be just now, retiring assets and replacing them in kind. And in just these couple years, it's really become apparent that our new challenge is capacity. So the railroad has gone up 52% in ridership since 1998. That's an unbelievable increase, 20 years. We struggle every day to put out as much service as we do. Some of the cars are from the Nixon era. We have 231 Silverliner 4s that we push out there every day. Act 89 has helped us in a lot of different ways. One of the ways we've purchased new locomotives, and for the first time ever, we are purchasing multi-level rail cars. These cars are going to be fantastic, especially from longer runs like to Chester County, where it's even 2-2 seating. It's a very, very comfortable, great experience. It's very similar to the trains that they have at New Jersey Transit. But these are coming. They're coming in about 2.5 years. And I think by then we'll also be able to talk about additional service out farther than we run now to Thorndale. When these trains come, we've also been working on increasing our crew head count, and that's all been working. So very soon I think we'll really be able to sit down and talk about additional service going west into Chester County. The other thing, if you want to get an idea of how much we're preparing for all this, not just only new locomotives, rail cars, but our Fraser Yard, which is in Chester County, I don't know how much we're spending, Bob, 125 million, and we've been working on phases of improving that yard. We built a whole new section to store cars in, so everything's getting set to be able to provide in the near future better service out to to Chester County. Now these are the Chester County rail stations. There's 10 of them. These are the increases in ridership since 2009, and you just look at some of them. Exton 36%, Malvern 66% increase in ridership, Berwyn 34%. These are big numbers. Now Paoli -1, sometimes that's just the day that we pick to do the census. Devon is a little bit of a drop off, but all the others all showing very, very significant increases in ridership. And as you go down, just talking about what's been going on in terms of expenditures and plans, Downingtown is something that PennDOT's been working on, and you'll get that presentation, what's the exciting things that are coming for that station. Exton, SEPTA just keeps building in Exton. I don't think we'll stop. The more parking, if you build it, they will come. We just keep working on Exton. I mean, obviously we also have to work with the traffic issues there, but there's more things coming. We're working also, better connectivity to the station. We really need to make it connect that station better to the nearby attractions, get the bus connectivity better with our rail service. That's all working, and we're building high-level platforms there now. Malvern, we recently invested in and put in a tunnel and set the stage for the next project, which is going to be high-level platforms, and that's going to come in the next couple of years. And you can see we're investing where the ridership is growing. Paoli is under construction. You'll see that in a minute. And so all these, those 3 stations in Downingtown, so 4 of the 10 are really, really kind of definitely moving ahead strongly with capital improvements. So this is Exton. It's hard to see this plan, but there's, brand new, beautiful station. And then I think, we'll be looking at how to add even more ridership to that location, more parking, more connectivity, as I mentioned. So, we just have to watch how we handle the traffic issues. And so that'll be a big part of whatever we look at. And then Paoli. A long, long time in coming. I saw one of the HOs here, so I know that they were very interested in this project. Steve is thrilled that this is moving ahead. This is a great project. It comes in stages. First is the accessibility project. It kind of took a lawsuit to get this moving, and it wasn't, the lawsuit wasn't at me, that's all I'm saying. So the lawsuit came, and it's moving, and it's, that's going to get accessible probably by the end of the year. There's a center platform. They've taken out the 2 middle tracks. You can see the elevator tower for the overpass and going up, and they will finish that off in the spring, definitely. And that's a great project. Behind it becomes a PennDOT bridge replacement, the overhead bridge there, and then even more, assuming the funding all gets worked out, we're going to build a transportation center, parking garage, some retail there as well, and it'll really be a fantastic location, and it really needs to be. I mean, again, it's one of our highest ridership stations outside of the city of Philadelphia, out in the suburbs. It's in the top 3, and it's people's home values are definitely related to having great transportation at Paoli, and it's not even just SEPTA. There's great Amtrak service there as well.